through the book, it starts, the first essays talk about really somber music, like exit music for a film and the Radiohead, and then Hallelujah, Leonard Cohen, and then it goes to all this composer and the lady almost dying, and the intensity of that moment, which I just experienced a similar moment, by the way, in the park, in the basketball court. Someone had an aneurysm and fell, and it was, all the kids were playing, and it was like that. It was like it was a horrible, but then they lifted him, and then they went, and it was like a symphony. And then, but then there's this other thing, like these codas, these cadenzas, these happy songs, like you referenced, like the outro of Freebird by Leonard Skinner, and all these really, like, songs, the Hey Jude ending. So my question to you is, and maybe you partially answered this already, but which one do you prefer? Do you want to go out with exit music, or do you want to go out like a coda, like a cadenza? And which is the better way?
Well, first of all, my whole life has been a coda and a cadenza. I'm always music. Everything to me is music. Remember, I said codas lurk everywhere in our lives. How do I want to go out? Well, I don't want to go out. I want to go in. I want to go into myself. I want to go in. And I don't because at the end on the essay on coda, I seem to imply that the coda could be the intro or the outro. And again, we're back to Hegel and the thesis and the antithesis and the synthesis. Going out is a synthesis. And from that synthesis, according to Hegel, comes its own antithesis, and then merges in another synthesis. So the universe is being created again and again and again. And so is life.
You're creating a universe within all of your students as well, who are creating a universe within their students.
That's a nice way to think of it.
I thought of that afterwards when we had that really good conversation that we didn't film, but we should have. I thought about that all day, and how your work already lives on in ours, and ours lives on with our students, and all of our, there's this beautiful relationship.
Yeah, I would like to think that I'm not teaching my students to write, but I'm teaching them to sing.
Yeah.
I have two friends, and they're both musically inclined. And one's from Philadelphia, and the other also lives in LA, but across the hills. When we're together, we were in a cafe one time, but we've done this in other places, where you're close to the railroad tracks. And every once in a while, you're sitting in a cafe having coffee, and a train might go by nearby. And as the train goes by, you hear, ooh. And we just break into harmony with the train. So we're in a cafe, and everybody's hearing, ooh. And then one of us go, da. And I go, oh, we'll all harmonize with the sound of the train. So it's like a quartet, and we get a kick out of that. So we'll break into song a lot depending on what's going on. We're crazy about that. But I like to think I'm teaching my students to sing, not just to write, but to sing. And I think I give music as one of my exercises, because I want people to listen to music and listen to the tonality and the harmony, and not the words, but the music of it. Because sometimes when I'm writing, I'm really thinking about musical, tonal dynamic, but what is the tone? I told you this before, and I've said it to some of my students, but I'll say it again. When Beethoven took my class, he was good. He was very talented. You should have heard him play chopsticks on the piano. It was marvelous. But he progressed in my classes, did well. And then he started working on a symphony, and he comes in with the beginning of his symphony, because, you can only, in my class, you can't go over 500 notes. So This is how his symphony began. Da 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 da. I said, Ludwig, give me a break. With all the da 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 da, getting a little boring. You want to use tonal dynamics. Straight talk, lost world, reddened song, absence of feel. He said, well, what should I do after? I said, give the da 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 2 bars. And then give me a little straight talk, little straight talk. And then go back down. So he rewrote it and he came to class and it was his turn. And then this is how the final form. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Straight talk. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum. Ba-da-da-dum, 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 bum ba. Da 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 da. So Beethoven learned tonal dynamics. So I am teaching music in the writing to pay attention, not to your story, which we all know is what, everybody? Boring.
Boring.
Because if you just tell your story, it's going to be da 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 da. Wake me up when it's over. Think music. So you're telling your story, but think tonal dynamics. Change the tone. Do a little straight talk. Do a little reddened song. Do third bass teeth and mouths. Image moment. Even massaging a transformation line is a tonal change. You could be in the head voice, then the reporting voice, and then you massage the transformation line. Dun, 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 da. Dun, 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 da. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. So yeah, music. The songs that I reference in Exit Music may be referenced in a deep voice. See, the songs are just me referencing things. They're not necessarily me analyzing the song. I'm just letting you know that music is good,
It's there for you. It's part of your,
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I do a whole sequence in some of my classes where we only focus on drum solos at the beginning of a song. Just a drum solo. Man, if you listen to Ginger Baker, or listen to Ringo's drum solo that occurs toward the end of Golden Slippers. It's great. It's a really great drum solo. So sometime I'll just have people, I'll give them drum solos, and then they have to write something in that drum solo.
That's beautiful. Natalie, you have a few more questions.